Good morning, everyone. This is Dr. Sharan, Senior Lecturer, Department of Prosthodontics. In the previous e-learning sessions, we have discussed about definition of occlusion and what is the difference between occlusion and articulation, and different compensating curves starting from the curve of Spee, curve of Wilson, curve of Monsoon, and even pressure curve also we have discussed. Now in this class we will discuss about canine relationships, molar relationship, and a little bit about concepts of occlusion. So coming to the canine relation, you all are very familiar with the class 1 canine relationship. What is class 1 canine relationship? Lower slope of distal slope of the lower canine coincides with the mesial slope of the upper canine. See, you can clearly see in this picture how the distal slope of the lower canine is coinciding with the mesial slope of the upper canine. This is class 1 canine relationship. And you know about the class 1 molar relationship also very well. The mesobuccal cusp of the upper permanent first molar coincides with the mesobuccal groove of the lower permanent first mandibular molar. This is your class 1 relation. This should be, everyone should be familiar, and every examiner expects this class 1 and class 1 canine and molar relationship. Now we discuss about a little bit about class 2 canine relationship. What is class 2 canine relationship? Distal incline of the cusp of upper canine which overlaps with the mesial incline of the cusp of lower canine, which is just opposite to your class 1. This is termed as class 1 class 2 canine relationship. Now coming to class 3 canine relationship. Lower canine will be forwardly placed when compared to the upper canine. Hence, you can observe no relationship between upper and lower canine that exists and is referred to as class 3 canine relationship. It is simple to remember. You know very well about class 1. Class 2 is nothing but just opposite to your class 1. Class 3 is lower canine will be forwardly placed when compared to upper canine. That means there will be no particular relationship existing. That is called as class 3 canine relationship. Now coming to what is occlusion, then when we call it as a malocclusion, and in that malocclusion class 1, class 2 and class 3. Just remember, you all know what is normal occlusion, class 1 occlusion. Where is class 1 malocclusion? It will be same as normal occlusion but characterized by the crowding, rotations and other positional irregularities. What is class 2 malocclusion? The mesobuccal cusp of the upper first molar occludes anterior to the buccal groove of the lower first molar. What is class 3 malocclusion? The mesobuccal cusp of the upper first molar occludes posterior to the buccal groove of the lower first molar. So, observe normal occlusion, class 1, class 2, class 3. This one you no need to worry more, because when you go to your clinical postings, particularly in ortho department, they will be explaining you in detail what is the difference between occlusion, malocclusion, everything. Okay, these are the pictures resembling. You can see from class 1, class 2, class 3. In class 1 we call it as a normal, whereas class 2 will is maxilla will be more prognathic and mandible will be retrognathic. So similarly class 3, mandible will be forwardly placed when compared to your maxilla. So all these things we will be discussing in the clinical postings of ortho. Now coming to your overjet and overbite. We have discussed in the previous class what is normal overjet, and in class 2 it will be retruded, whereas in class 3 overjet will be more protruded. You can see overjet how they are, how it is, and what is overbite. These pictures you are all very much in a doubt what is overjet and overbite, how they are see here, see come clearly how here they are evaluating horizontal overlap and how here they are seeing the vertical overlap. These pictures will be clearly seen. Then now coming to concepts of occlusion. So now we are familiar with the basic topics regarding the concepts of basic points regarding the occlusion. Then regarding concepts, actually when you are fabricating a complete denture, we usually give the balanced occlusion. You might be known about different types of articulators, 3-point articulators, Hanu articulators, that is nothing but semi-adjustable articulators, fully adjustable articulators. So in that, so fully adjustable articulators and semi-adjustable articulators, we are going to give balanced occlusion, right? So what is balanced occlusion and other types, including non-balanced or monoplane occlusion, lingualized occlusion, neutrocentric occlusion. Just we will observe a few points. Coming to balanced occlusion, very important definition. Usually they will ask you for Viva question. What is balanced occlusion? The bilateral, simultaneous anterior and posterior occlusal contact of teeth in centric and eccentric positions. This type of occlusion will be generally associated with cusp form of posterior teeth. You can when you are saying, when any particular staff has discussed about different forms of the posterior teeth, you might be in cusp teeth, cuspless teeth, all these forms of teeth you can see. So this type of balanced occlusion generally will be associated with the cusp form of posterior teeth. This balanced occlusion involves a definitive arrangement of teeth to provide simultaneous contact of all posterior contact in harmony with mandibular movements and a predetermined anterior guidance. You just remember what is balanced occlusion. It is nothing but bilateral, simultaneous anterior and posterior occlusal contact of teeth in centric and eccentric positions. Why? What is the purpose? It is to provide the stabilizing forces to the denture bases on their basal seat when the teeth make contact and the jaws are in centric or eccentric relation. So what is the benefit of giving the balanced occlusion? Because when you give the dentures in the patient, it should work. There are different types of forces will be acting, masticatory forces, chewing forces, different types of forces. Some may have bruxism. So some different types of forces will be established, mainly to maintain the normalize the stabilizing forces in centric or eccentric relations. We give this balanced occlusion. It is completely artificial. It is man-made. There will be no balanced occlusion in normal dentition, that is in your human dentition. It does not occur in natural teeth since each tooth is supported independently. How each tooth will be supported? Periodontally. But whereas when you give your complete denture, we are giving PDL. No. So that's why this balanced occlusion is completely a man-made thing, and it is a artificial thing which is used to normalize the stabilizing forces in centric and eccentric relations. Advantages: stability of the denture, preservation of the supporting tissue required during the time of mastication and deglutition. Disadvantages: as I already said, it is required semi-adjustable or fully adjustable articulator is required, which is financially more, and normal 3-point articulator we cannot establish this type of balanced occlusion, and it may tend to encourage lateral and protrusive grinding habits. It is difficult to achieve balance in severe class 2 and class 3 cases. In all the things we can't achieve this balanced occlusion. It should be ideal class 1 and it cannot be achieved in severe class 2 and class 3 cases. Factors that affect the occlusal balance. Just remember, these factors we usually call it as a Hanau squint. They are nothing but condylar guidance, incisal guidance, occlusal plane, compensating curve, cusp height and inclination. So these factors you can know, or you can learn elaborately when you come to your clinicals. Right? At preclinical level, as you are doing in a 3-point articulator, just it's enough to know what is balanced occlusion, what is the purpose of doing the balanced occlusion, and what is the factors that affect the occlusal balance. If they ask you what is Hanau squint, it is nothing but the factors that affect the occlusal balance when you are providing the balanced occlusion. What is Hanau squint means? In Hanau squint we can see condylar guidance, incisional guidance, occlusal plane, compensating curve and cusp height and inclination. Right. Then coming to what is monoplane occlusion. In this type of monoplane occlusion, usually we give which form of posterior teeth? 0 degree teeth, that means cuspless teeth, and it can be given even in the 3-point articulator, which can maintain vertical dimension. It is a type of non-balanced occlusal arrangement wherein the posterior teeth have the masticatory surface that lack any cuspal height. And what will be the features? Maxillary posterior teeth are arranged first after occlusal plane is determined. It should provide occlusal plane that parallels the mean denture base. Lower posteriors are arranged so that flat lingual cusp of maxillary tooth contacts the central groove area of the flat mandibular posterior. See, here you can see how monoplane occlusion opposing. There will be flat cusps. Then coming to the lingualized occlusion. This type of occlusion is very important. This form of denture occlusion articulates with the maxillary lingual cusp with the mandibular occlusal surfaces in centric working position and non-working position. This is given by the scientist called as Pound, and it was popularized by Payne. It was originally given by Alfred Geisy. Remember that all the maxillary lingual cusp will occlude on the mandibular occlusal surfaces, whereas in your monoplane occlusion there will be completely flatless. Just your mesobuccal, imagine mesobuccal cusp that will be coinciding into the mandibular buccal groove. That's it. There will be no cusp. It is in a monoplane occlusion. It is posterior teeth will be 0 degrees. Here cusps will be normal, but the maxillary lingual cusp will be coinciding to the occlusal grooves. You can see how because maxillary lingual cusps are nothing but your functional cusp. They are coinciding in the occlusal grooves. Right? For the requirement for this, anatomic teeth are used in maxillary arch. Semi-anatomic or non-anatomic teeth can be selected for mandibular arch. So like this, in the pictures you can see where it is indicated. When complete denture opposing an RPD, when implant supported over dentures are planned, in patients with the severe ridge resorption. Then other type of occlusion is neutrocentric occlusion. It is developed by D. Vance. It states that the teeth must be placed where they grow as long as the mechanical laws are not violated. Balance was unnecessary and undesirable. Key objects of this occlusal scheme includes neutralization of inclines and centralization of forces. Right. So I have discussed all the basics of the occlusion, compensating curves in detail, and balanced occlusion. What is balanced occlusion? What is the purpose? And what are the advantages? And a little bit about monoplane occlusion, lingualized occlusion, and neutrocentric occlusion. During this e-learning session, there is some inconvenience. So in the middle of this video, there are some disturbances. So please mind it, and you can observe all the remaining part very well, read well. Okay, occlusion is an important topic where you have to achieve occlusion when you arrange the teeth. Occlusion is must. Without occlusion, any examiner won't accept your teeth arrangement. Remember that. After your arrangement of teeth is completed, it is must you have to place the teeth in the occlusion. Right? Occlusion is must. Class 1 occlusion is must. Since your preclinical exercise you are doing in the 3-point articulator, your teeth arrangement should have proper occlusion. What type of occlusion? Class 1 occlusion and class 1 canine relationship. These two are the important aspects where they see. First, immediately when they see your teeth setting, first they observe these two things. Whether you kept the maxillary teeth and mandibular teeth in class 1 molar relation and class 1 canine relation. Then they see the overjet and overbite. Whether you are keeping in a class 1 overjet or it is going more retrusion or more protrusion. Then they will see the arch forms, glass plate relation, everything. Right? So remember, occlusion is very, if you gone wrong in the occlusion itself, then no one can help you. So remember the occlusion, remember what definitions I stressed, and read well. Right? Thank you. Hope all of you are safe. Stay home. All the best. Thank you.